Hi, my name is Thomas Sutherland. I'm a state conservation officer out of Grand Rapids here, out of our local community. I've been here for now over 16 years in the Grand Rapids area as our local conservation officer. And today, this spring, I would like to let you all know of some new regulations the Minnesota DNR has enacted. Some of the things to look forward to with our fishing opener, which is coming up in a couple weeks. And also some spring things that are happening around the area that we can be on the lookout for, and some things this summer to look forward to. With that said, we do have some new regulations in the area for panfish. We in the state of Minnesota had a panfish initiative that's been being worked on the last couple years, and with that, we have some reduced bluegill limits in the area to help sustain that larger quality fish that those bluegills can produce in our area. With that, we have Jay Gould Lake here, Little Jay Gould, the Big Jay Gould, and the Mississippi River watershed from the dam here west of Grand Rapids all the way to County Road, or U.S. State Highway 6, where the bluegill limit has been reduced to 5 in that area. Also, the Cutfoot Lake area, Little Cutfoot, Big Cutfoot Lake, back into First River Egg Lake, that also has been reduced to 5 bluegills to help that quality bluegill initiative. Remember, when on these lakes, this is a new regulation, if you have 5 bluegills and you're traveling through other lake areas like, say, Pekegama Lake, which does not have this new regulation on it as of yet, if you want to catch more bluegills and you live, say, on Pekegama or landed on Pekegama, make sure you keep driving your boat, because once you're on, once you're coming through those areas from, say, Pekegama backwards into Little Jay Gould and you have more bluegills, you have to keep going on your way to your destination. Otherwise, you'd be technically over limit in those areas. So just be aware of that. Also, one other thing that it's a newer regulation, but it's being, people are getting to know a little bit better, is our pike regulations in north central Minnesota. A lot of people are still unaware of them, or maybe didn't see that they have changed. But in our area, the limit is up to 10 pike actually. But all from 22 inches to 26 inches need to be released. But you can keep 2 over 26 inches. So if you are going to target this species, you're going to want to have a really good ruler with you that you can measure and be accurate with these fish. So this is also another initiative to help create more quality pike in our area. A lot of questions I've been getting about is, why is fishing opener so late this year? It does seem a little late. It's May 15th, and also a kind of a neat thing for some of you moms out there is fishing opener this year is not on Mother's Day weekend. Mother's Day weekend's the weekend before. And also, one thing and why it's different this year is because in Minnesota statute, the fishing opener, the Saturday of fishing opener, which would be walleye and northern pike opener, has to be 2 weeks before prior to Memorial Day. And Memorial Day this year is late. I believe it's on the 31st of May. So that's why fishing opener is later. So to all you mothers out there, you might get your, have a good Mother's Day weekend with no one gone fishing, right? With that. Also in the area, in Minnesota on a national level also, the U.S. Coast Guard, just something I want to mention, the U.S. Coast Guard came up with some new rules on federal waters. If your boat has a lanyard cutoff switch, safety switch, that has to be worn on federal waters. Now, little did people know, technically a federal water, there are quite a few federal waters in Minnesota. Mississippi River, any waters tied to the Mississippi River directly are federal waters, and that includes Pekegama Lake. Lake Winnebagosh, and those waters are also federal waters. So just to be aware that they do have that lanyard rule that's on the books now with the U.S. Coast Guard. You never know, you might see a U.S. Coast Guard boat out patrolling those waters. Very rare, but they do sometimes do that. So make sure you have that enacted if your boat has that. Looking at with the boating this year with the public, you're going to still see those invasive species individuals, workers with the DNR in the county at landings, checking your boats over, making sure there's not invasive species attached to them like zebra mussels or the curly-leaf pondweed, which we have in the Pekegama Lake watershed in the Mississippi River, those sort of weeds. And we don't want those to spread to other areas, or when you're putting your boat into our lakes in our area, we want to make sure that your boat doesn't have any of those zebra mussels or other critters that ride on the boat. So make sure you check them over. If you see someone at the landing, it could be a conservation officer like myself checking, making sure. It could be a county invasive species individual that's inspecting your boat, or a state invasive species inspector. Just bear with them, have a little patience, and they'll try to get you on your way as quick as possible. And they'll take a quick survey, ask where you came from, where you're putting in, and how many days you've been out of the water. So it's pretty quick, so just bear with them if you can and help them out, and it helps everyone else, and it helps keep our lakes clean and protected. So you will see those out on the lakes like you have the last few years at certain landings for that. With spring, one of the last notes I wanted to bring up here with spring is, and lots of calls have been coming in this year particularly, there must be lots of baby animals starting to come out, is the baby animal thing, and our deer here start to have fawns here in the end of May, Memorial Weekend, first part of June is when our deer in our area traditionally have fawns. One thing we say every year is if you see a fawn all by itself, it's probably not abandoned at all. It's probably mom is within, a shout of distance away. She might have saw you before you even came and hid quick because she doesn't want her fawn to be found. So they're hiding, they're standing there really still, trying to make sure that you don't see them. So leave the fawns alone. The mom's probably nice and close by. That's the best thing, because mom will come back. She might not come back for a while. It might even be after dark until she feels it's safe to come back. One thing the last 2-3 years here, what we've had a lot in Grand Rapids, the city of Grand Rapids itself, city proper, is we've had lots of bears in the city limits. One thing I can say, and we've had a couple yearling bears in the area that have been in bird feeders and in garbages. They're looking for an easy spring snack, if you will, for that. And if you remember, and if you look at it, one of the highest fat substances for animals is sunflower seeds. So bears love to get in your bird feeders. If you have a bear in your neighborhood, if you could, do it yourself and talk to your neighbors and go, hey, let's put the garbage away, keep it in the garage, let's put the bird feeders down. That bear, if he can't find any food, he eventually will move on and go hopefully to the woods to get natural food where they are. But if they can get an easy meal, they will stick around the neighborhood. So if you can take care of those things, that bear hopefully will move on. It's better for you, better for your bird feeders, and also better for that bear long term, that he can forage for him or herself. That's all I have right now, and I want you all to have a great summer, a great spring, and a safe one. Wear those life jackets, please, put them on. When you're out on those boats. Very important. I want you to have a great summer, great spring, have fun, be safe on the water, and here's to 2021.